Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday, December 6th, 2022 Government Operations and Regulations Committee. I detect a quorum with council members Cash, Nash, Parker, Swope, and Withers in attendance. And we have two items on our agenda today. We should move pretty quickly. The first item is BL 2022-1528. Sepulveda Tomb Styles and Others. This amends Title II, Title VI, and Title VII of the Metropolitan Code to amend the membership of various boards and commissions.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
So the sponsor of this bill has indicated to me that she will defer this one time. There's an amendment that's coming, she said, and so she's asked that we defer the bill.
I would move that per the sponsor's request, we defer till the first meeting in January, maybe?
So one meeting is what she
Okay,
asked for.
so
Yep.
December.
2 weeks.
December. One meeting deferral, seconded.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Okay, passes 7-0. And the next bill is BL 2022-1530 by Cash, Mendez, Bradford, and others. This amends Chapter 13.20 of the Metropolitan Code to restrict obstructions within the public way or public right-of-way.
So moved.
Second.
Councilmember Henderson has an amendment that I believe Councilmember Cash is on.
Yep.
Do you want to explain the amendment?
So the amendment, basically the bill talks about a bunch of fees, and it specifies certain fees. And honestly, some of those fees you look at and it's like, well, $10 for that, that's all. And so I think there was concern about codifying those fees and then needing to change them in short order, so that if the specific fees are removed from the bill, that gives NDOT some opportunity to adjust the fees without having to come back to council and recodify every time they change a fee.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Anybody want to move the amendment? Or, sorry, any discussion?
I'll move the amendment. I had a question for Councilmember Cash. So is the amendment only related to the fee codification? Is that all?
That's my understanding. I've got it here. That's my understanding, and I asked her that, and she said yes. It's not changing any of the other stuff.
Thank you.
I mean, I can.
Yep,
If you want to.
that is it. He's got it.
So this is basically allowing them to base these on their operating costs, what it costs to send inspectors out every day to go check these sites, et cetera.
Correct.
That sounds reasonable and good to me, so I'm going to be supporting the amendment.
Thank you. Could I get a motion for the amendment?
Sean already moved it.
Could I get a second?
Second.
All right. I have asked Wesley Smith from Walk Bike Nashville to give an opinion on this. I know that he had reached out, but they are an ally in regards to pedestrian safety, and so I appreciate that you're here. I know you have a few words.
Yeah, I'll be real quick. Just wanted to speak in support of the ordinance as amended. We've been working with the mayor's office and council members since we delivered the petition to try and keep public infrastructure public a few months ago, and are very excited. Certainly in parts of our city, there's closures every few hundred feet. And so establishing this policy, I think, will be very important. And also, NDOT already has plans, and we have a meeting scheduled for the first multimodal access closure advisory committee, which will overlook all the exceptions with this ordinance, and it represents all the important and relevant sectors of metro government and the developers as well. And I think will be just a big win for walking and biking and getting around this city as construction inevitably continues. So,
Thank you for being here. Thank you for those comments, and really appreciate the advocacy work that you do for our pedestrians and our cyclists in the city. Nobody should be put in harm's way due to unsafe and unwalkable streets, so this is an excellent bill, and I'm excited to support this today. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I would like to jump in and thank Walk Bike Nashville. I mean, that's kind of how this has been a concern of mine, but it was there. I came as you did, Councilmember Benedict, the morning that they delivered the petition to the mayor's office, and kind of got more deeply into the details of it, and was happy to sign on. Some may remember that there was a policy change, NDOT policy change, about want to say late August, early September, there was an announcement at Vanderbilt that kind of said, hey, we're making this shift. You know, we're going to try this out for a little bit, and you know, in a few months there'll be legislation that will come forward, and which is what we're talking about today. And you know, there are plenty of obstructions that we see. I know I pass by some every day, and some of them, you know, are legit. Like if you've been down Church Street recently, they've got the middle kind of blocked off, and they're doing utility work, and that's the kind of thing that they can't do that in 7 days. So that's the kind of thing that I would expect going forward there would be an exception for. But on the other hand, you see some where basically it's like a bunch of trucks parked in the lane that, you know, is permitted for closure because of construction, and that's just like not, we shouldn't be expanding a footprint and closing a lane down to traffic, or closing a sidewalk down to pedestrian traffic, or closing a bike lane down. And I think this will not remove all these closures, but shorten a good number of them. There are still some exceptions, and I think that committee will do some good work, and I think there's enough flexibility that if there's something that is really problematic, NDOT has some flexibility to do so. And also just to note that things that are already permitted prior to the policy announcement, they still get to continue under the
Great.
permit that they sign. So it doesn't mean that tomorrow the clock starts on things that were permitted before that policy announcement. So there'll be a little time as the permits will complete and will be into the new policy and legislation permits, if that makes sense.
Awesome, thank you. I will say, I've noticed around the city, I'm sorry,
No, go right ahead, Chair.
I've noticed around the city, on our sidewalks in particular, that folks are beginning to make this change already. So that's excellent to see, in advance of this, new ordinance, should it pass tonight.
Yeah.
Councilmember Parker?
I just want to take a moment to thank, you know, the sponsor, Councilmember Cash, and everybody else who's worked on this. Myself, Councilmember Swope, and Councilmember Henderson, Hager, and some community members were part of a special committee early in this term to take a look at right-of-way obstructions. I forget what our exact initial charge was, but we ended up looking at right-of-way obstructions and sort of, you know, the element you just talked about, where we were seeing like lots of, you know, contractor vehicle parking in a lane with an obstruction permit, and you know, that is not the purpose of an obstruction permit. You know, that is superfluous. So hopefully this will begin to address it, and we'll see sort of a tightening of that, less blocking of sidewalks, less blocking of travel lanes. So just wanted to thank lead sponsor and everybody else who's worked on this, and the departmental folks for working on this.
Excellent, thank you so much. Yeah, this is a win for Nashvillians for sure. All right, with that, we have an amendment. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, any abstentions? Okay, now we have a bill as amended.
So moved.
That's already moved.
That's what I thought. All right, so all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Oh, all right, that passes 7 in favor, 0 against. And is there any other business? I don't have any other business before the committee. Is there anybody on the committee who has anything else? Okay, with that, we stand adjourned.
Thank you. Shannon, here I come.
Oh, wait, no, I'm early for my next meeting. I'm early for my next meeting that starts here in 5 minutes. Yeah, I don't have to do
Stop.
One time, 6 in favor.
cookies on the desk. That'll help your energy level. I can take it down.
Seeing stars.
It's been going for 5 minutes. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.